And let's get started. Talos Principle, day 1. New game. Here we go. I don't really know what to expect. Firmware functional loading child program parameters. System check. Child process. Ready. Okay. We are a robot. And we're born. We're in a nice
Behold,
little...
child.
Oh, God. So loud. Ah. Usually the voice acting is so much quieter than everything else, so I leave that volume up.
You are risen from the dust, and
How's
you
that?
walk in my garden.
Still pretty loud.
Hear now my voice,
Behold!
and know that I am your maker, and I am called Elohim.
Elohim.
Seek me in my temple, if you are worthy.
Okay. I feel like that's so much louder than my voice is. Kind of fitting to be loud, though. Yeah, God, our maker, is talking to us. I need to do a couple adjustments real quick. Motion sickness options. Oh, no. There's no... I guess the sensitivity options are only for... mouse and keyboard and not for controller. Okay. Hey, Shuggy, welcome in. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate it. All I hear is Old Dragon. He might teach you soon. Loud and visible and with much reverb, such as the image we have of God. Alright, this is just super sensitive, but I think I'll get used to it. Let's go through the purple gate. Can I interact with anything in here? Headless statue. Can I jump? Oh, I can tap my wrist. Journal empty, no text found. I can jump! Whoa. It's so sensitive. Alright, let's just go. Let's see if we can go through this purple. Child program logic check. Interesting. Strong the witness vibes? Yeah. Seems like it's not detecting the controller in the settings. Well, I'm using the controller. It's just really sensitive. Oh, you mean like for additional options for the yeah, I don't know why. Like, I don't know. Take jammer? Subject-object interaction, okay. Can't go through that. Complex task management, okay. Can I take you back? No, it doesn't let me continue. Can we parkour over here? Not really. Figuring out what we can and cannot do from the start, or trying to. Child program basic calibration successful. I'm not giving anybody whiplash from the controller head movement, right? Oh, orb. Okay. What happens if I don't jam you? Doesn't like that. Correcting for errors, done. Reloading child program, done. It didn't like that. This isn't a shooter, so you should be fine. Okay. Orb. So the orb is angry. Does it do the same thing if I... Yeah.
Human beings, it turns out, are
Whether
weird.
I'm holding that or not. TT, hi, welcome in. Talos Tuesday, Subnautica Sunday. I can't wait for Fortnite Friday. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for 25 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the human race. Enjoy your Earth Badger emotes, your ad-free viewing. We're so glad to have you. Happy birthday. Oh, I jammed it. I want to go over there.
This side quest was perfect, and I was good at it.
Ariane, thank you for the prime. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the human race. Enjoy Earth Badge, your emotes, your ad-free viewing. 4 whole months. Thank you, thank you. Wow, this is intense. Okay, we jammed some stuff. We're jamming. I missed what that message was. Is that in our log? No. I'm gonna press my wrist again. Ooh, ladder. Oh. Interesting.
All across this land, I have created trials
Jammin'.
for you to overcome. And within each,
Checking
I have
sigils?
hidden a sigil. It is your purpose to seek these sigils.
Have a nice day.
For thus you will serve the generations to come.
Child lock restrictions
and
off.
attain eternal life.
Oh, eternal life? That's kind of heavy, right? You hid some sigils for me. Okay. So far, so good. The Ori narrator, yeah, kind of. I can splash in the pond. Tetris piece. Should we make a little note of this courtyard since there's lots of directions we can go? Let's draw a little courtyard picture. Talos Principle. Courtyard. When does the run and gun portion start? Hopefully soon, right? TT, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the hosts today, everybody. I appreciate it. The alerts are working. Everything's good. Okay, so we've got this courtyard. On the right-hand side is an exit, and it has a little Tetris piece that looks like that. Then in front of us, we've got a couple of labels. We've got this one, and it has a Tetris piece like this. We have this one, which is closed, and it has a Tetris piece like this. An L going the other way. It has some more stuff on it, too. Oh. Do we have to put these in the correct order to open this? I don't know yet. Map drawing cam? Yeah. And then this one is the pieces over there. So many Tetris pieces. What is this? Witness? Fez? Or Tetris? And this is blocked. And I think that's it. Are those cicadas or crickets? They're not cicadas. They don't remind me of cicadas. Feztris, yeah. They're like quicker. It's kind of a similar noise, but the beat is quicker. Alright, I kind of want to play with this thing. This lock requires more sigils. Just kidding, I can't play with that thing. Let's go over here. Peephole. Oh, there's a sigil. Can jam it from over here. Because I'm assuming I can't take the jammer through the purple. Oh, there's another one. Weird. Oh, hi Bitfreeze, welcome in. Found you live at last. Thank you, thank you. I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Can we sneak through? Oh, that startled me. No, we're gonna die. Weird. We haven't tried to do this, right? Yeah, we definitely can't. Just wanted to confirm. We can jam that from really far away. And what's going on with this one? Can we jam the other one through here? Hi Kaiser, welcome in. How's it going? Can we jam? Oh, I don't know if controller is gonna work. It's way too sensitive. We're gonna have to maybe do a little keyboard mouse today. Okay, yeah, we can get the farther one. At least for some of this stuff, so that I can have a little more precision. I cannot jam these through this gate. Okay. Interesting. There's no ladder? Am I just supposed to... double jam this? Okay, nice. And now I can get the far one with this. Gonna need keyboard again. The Witness had benefit of being designed specifically for PS4. Sad controller compatibility can be such an issue. I'm gonna have to mess with the sensitivity settings and see if I can't get that to register. It seems really strange that it's not even like picking up the controller settings. Is there a sprint option? We got our first sigil. Peephole.
You
I like
will
that
not
noise.
need this sigil to open the gate to my temple, but it may serve you in times to come.
Okay. May serve me in times to come. Oh, there is a... I couldn't figure out what button it was. Thank you. The Witness and Talos Principle are my favorite puzzle games by far. Yeah, The Witness is just top tier. Hi, Green Mazing, welcome in. Very satisfying success noise, definitely. Alright, so we got this one from the right-hand side, and it didn't seem like we could go anywhere further over there. Now we're gonna go through this door. And there's more doors. But, oh, these are all closed. Anything back here? Only the two of us. Okay. Hi. I want to know what other mechanics are gonna be coming along here, or is this just rat jam, cat jam, jamming all the way kind of a game? Success noise! Only the two of us
shapes
sounds like...
you are collecting are not mere toys.
It's
They
so
are
loud.
the sigils of our name. Each brings you closer to eternity.
Closer to eternity. Sounds like a knockoff version of Just the Two of Us. Yeah, it definitely does. I don't have to... Here, I have to use you to get out of here. Oh, right. Is it always gonna remind me to sprint when I'm not sprinting? Sometimes I just don't feel like sprinting. I want to take my time. Oh, and it crosses these out. We can get 3 in here. Oh. A switch out of reach. This is fun. There's kind of little levels. Praise from the voice in the sky. Yeah. Eternity is Tetris. I think so. If we get all the pieces, we can play never-ending Tetris. This tiny little nook. What's in here? Weird noises. Nope. Gonna have to switch again. Who's vandalizing the signs? Yeah, they didn't give me the option of, using a Sharpie or anything like that. Okay. Ooh, fun. Oh god. I hate that noise. It's like the, Breath of the Wild Guardian. Kinda startling. Did I walk right past it? Was it this way? No, it's right here.
Well done, child. Only one more sigil is needed.
Okay, we're cruising. Let's grab one of these. The more I think about it, the more I imagine mouse and keyboard would be favorable, unfortunate comfort-wise. Random dumb question for fellow US residents. Is it just a Northeast thing, or do the backs of all street signs get covered in stickers? Oh. I think it's mostly a Northeast thing. Forgot how much I like the music. The music is really lovely. Yeah, I'm kind of upset about the controller compatibility thing, but I'll do my best. I might just like switch over for good and get used to it this way. What happened here? Somebody blew up a wall, a statue? Okay. Outnumbered. Yeah, it seems like we only have one jammer and 3 things that need jamming. Oh god. Oh, that effect is weird. What if we trap it over here? Oh, it didn't work. I can jam this from all the way back here. Yay! Success noise!
My temple awaits you, child. Go forth.
So we only needed 2 of the 3 in here? What happens if I try to do this one anyway? I'm a West Coaster, and at least where I am, stickers on the back of street signs is rare. Thank you for the yay! Hi Eric, welcome in. I was gonna say I think it's more of a Northeast thing, but then again, in grand scheme, I'm kind of Northeast, yeah. It's absolutely wild this is from the same people as Serious Sam. Mm-hmm. Not sure how I feel about disembodied voice telling us child. Yeah, the birth thing is kind of an interesting motif.
My child, you do not need to collect all sigils at once. You are free to return to this place whenever you choose.
Yeah, but what if I wanna? Oh, I don't know how to jump now that I switched from... Oh, right. Spacebar, like normal keyboard mouse games. Oh god, no. Stay away from me! Don't kill me! This is the stealth mode of the game. Oh god. I don't like that. I don't want to have to run away from these. Oh god. Wait, was there a thing over here?
Yes! 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 Yes!
Reds, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you for the follow. Thanks for supporting a fellow human. First timer here. Thanks for uploading Super Metroid. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was a while ago, and sometimes it's painful for me to go back and watch some of the segments of it. But I'm glad you got to watch it on YouTube, and now you're here. Stickers were all over Philly, as well as a recurring graffiti symbol. Never knew that was about. Yelling at a disembodied voice in the sky. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad. Yeah. Imagining the beeps from the orbs as them saying, "Excuse me, coming through. Make way." Reds, how's your day going? Thanks for joining us. Oh no. Don't like it. Don't like it. Oh my god, I was like right next to it. How are you supposed to...
The guardians of this land may harm you, but do not resent them. For they are my servants, and they challenge you only so that your faith might be strengthened.
Chuck, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Robots always rebelling against their creator. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot we're a robot too. This is my least favorite puzzle so far. So, they don't come towards me. I just need to make sure I don't get in their way. I guess that's what we're learning here. We're a robot? Yeah. Okay, so I'm safe from back here to... Oh, wait. Do this and get it to go through the door, hopefully? Okay. Terrifying. Da-na-na-na. Hand looks like a robot hand.
Most diligent. Perhaps this trait will serve you well in times to come.
I am most diligent. Thank you. Can I sneak past those even when they're being jammed? Yeah. There's a third-person mode, I think, but I don't recommend. Oh, really? I'm good with this, I think. Yeah. So did we get everything? From what I can tell, now you want us to go to the temple. Okay. No. Oh, but it lets you put them in the wrong way and keep them there. What is this? Why are we... What? Whatever the end goal of this grand challenge is, it's far out of reach. Knowing that, how are we supposed to resist distraction? My eyes have been opened. This world is not without order. It is shaped by a great designer with signs and potents to guide my steps. I am one of his children, and challenges are set before me to test my faith. Huh. What in the fez is this game? Are you my dad? Are you my creator? Loading library session done. Mounting local disks. Connecting network drives. Network inaccessible. Milton library assistant unresponsive. Command prompt done. Session ready. Guest local. Hello world. Unknown command. Hi. I know it says to do help, but I want to talk to it. Terminal commands are display a list of available resources, open file name, show contents of file, help, run MLA, or exit. Lock, lit arch, Athena, welcome, EP arch, figure it out. What? Let's do welcome. From Nadia Sarabai at Institute for Applied N%. to Alexandra Drennan at Andid Nomadics. Welcome to the team. Hi again. I'm sorry if I was a little odd at the meeting. I know you were nervous, but the truth is that so was I. This may be hard to believe, but you intimidate me. You're so young. And you've already accomplished so much. If the situation wasn't so grim, I might even be jealous. There's also something I wanted to clarify. I realize that nominally speaking, I'm head researcher here, but this is your project and everyone will respect that. And yes, I know you're not used to working like this, but as of today, you're in charge. What? GDQ practice, yeah, N% speedrun. No pressure. G. Let's do this. I'm gonna write down Nadia. And Alexandra. Run Fez. Can we play Fez from this terminal? Now we can read Athena 6. Chapter 6, Athena in the Garden of Hesperides. This character did not trust them, but they moved with such grace, such nobility, that it was hard not to follow them further into the strange garden of gears and cogs. They led her to a place where the crowns of the brass trees seemed to grow together, forming a kind of chamber, strangely reminiscent of a chapel. In the middle of this chamber grew a smaller tree, made of bright blue steel, and upon this tree grew a single golden apple. This apple, the nymph said in unison, their eyes aglow, confers the gift of deathlessness and true wisdom. Many heroes, and not a few villains, have come to claim it, but all faltered in the final step. For you must know that deathlessness reveals the mortality of the world, and true wisdom is unending folly. Who would take this burden upon themselves? Some say that Heracles... Heracles? It's not Heracles, because it's like another spelling for Hercules. Heracles? Sorry. Aborshi, hi, welcome in. Thank you. It's good so far. It would be cool to have any game with terminals. I would like mini games. Load F448, a bunch of numbers. Gazing upon the stars and wept. Do I want to write down this string? I know the story of the Hesperides not super well, but I'm familiar. This is you know, with the reference. I'm honestly not sure of the pronunciation, but you're right about it being another spelling of Hercules. Hercules is like the Disneyfied. Actually, I don't know. I gotta do some reading. I'm writing down this number string because why not? 414C 20 47 41 5244 45 4E. Okay. Time to do Greek mythology homework so I can understand my video game. That's how I feel right now. And then this one, figure it out. From Lee. Everybody has a percentage as a name. To an IP address? How much computer technology know-how do I need for this game? The way I see it, the world doesn't come with a manual. You got to figure it out for yourself. A bit here, a bit there, put it together, try to make sense of it. I'm pretty sure there's a truth, but that doesn't mean everyone who claims to know it really does. Then again, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. We live in an amazing world, and searching for the truth can be a real adventure. Plus, it's good for the brain. Anyway, just some rambling thoughts from your old man. Don't let this stuff get you down. You're young, you've got loads of time to figure it all out. Love, Dad. You're my dad. Gen%. Show us your hacking skills. Heracles is right, I think. Yeah. That sounds better to me, but please, my Greek speakers, feel free to collect. The last few games you played, they seem like they're all out of my own Steam library. Half expect you to pick up Super Metroid speedrunning. No, I could never. We're playing some bangers for sure, though. I'm having a lot of fun. Do I need a safe word to know if this is... No, I don't think we're there for a safe word question for that yet, no. I'll keep it in the back of my head. And I wrote down this number string, so... Hi, Jacob. Welcome in. How's it going? Thanks, Macchiato. What was my other option? Run MLA, but it didn't work. I could try again. Oh, it worked this time. Support session. Hello, guest. How can I help you today? Do you understand what I'm saying? Understand is a strong way to put it, but yes. What was the first word of the last sentence you wrote? Are you able to take offense, you pointless contraption? Describe your functions. Okay, I'm gonna be cheeky first, and then maybe describe your functions. I'm sorry, I'm only able to process and respond to basic subject-verb-object syntax. I'm not gonna insult the computer. The Milton Library Assistant is designed primarily to sort and classify data in the library archive. Secondarily, it facilitates user interaction with library resources via an intuitive human language interface. It also provides powerful networking and troubleshooting functions. I'm gonna take notes for this too. Doing a Turing test, yeah. Reds, thank you for thanking the mods, I appreciate it. Milton Library Assistant. Sort and classify data. Language interface. Like, that's what we're doing now. We're talking to it. Sorta. And then networking and troubleshooting. What are these terminals? What is the current status of the library archive? How old are the library archives? How long has this system been running? Let's just go through these. Terminals provide access to the library resource archive.
Humans.
Oh,
so
Box,
many.
hi, welcome in.
Are they friendly, Kara? The people here?
Don't worry, you're gonna fit right in.
I'll do a quick pause. Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? It's good to have you here. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thank you for the shout-outs for Box. Baker, hi. Rose, hi. Welcome, welcome. Love how you take notes. Yeah, we're taking a lot of notes today. I'm glad. Box, how was your stream? What were you doing? Oh, are you playing... Is Persona 5 already out on the Switch? Are you playing it on the Switch, or you just are doing your Persona journey? I hope it was fun. Hi, Jake. Hi, Scrain. Lane Dar, welcome in. Stream was good. Hope you're enjoying Talos. It's really cool so far. I'm picking apart this mystery. Everybody go follow Box if you're not already. Thank you again. And Raiders, if you don't know me, I'm Jen the Human. I do peaceful and calm streaming and gaming we explore our humanity while solving puzzles and playing games. It's good to have you here. Playing on PS4, it's my first Persona. The presentation is so rad. I'm loving it. I've heard such good things. Very cool. And of course, if you need to lurk and get snacks and do the post-stream stuff, I totally understand. If you want to lurk and chill with us while I solve puzzles, anybody from the raid, we're so glad to have you. I'm gonna hop right back in. We are on keyboard and mouse for this game for the first time in a long time. I'm usually totally a controller-only nerd, but this one is tough on controller, so... Rhymes just got home, so I'm gonna dip for a few to sort out dinner. Of course. Tell Rhymes we say hi too. Enjoy dinner. I will resist the urge to ask all the questions about playthrough for Persona, Eric. Definitely. We are just getting acquainted with this library interface, so I'm going through a lot of these queries. This is a terminal. Yeah, we kind of figured out what the terminals are for. How long has the system been running? 9999 years. Okay, we'll write that down. What is the status of the archive? There are 47 million resources, taking up 5.4212750 petabytes? Petabytes? Anybody want to help me out with that? What's a petabyte? This is approximately the size of 30 billion photos, okay, I mean, I guess it gives you a frame of reference. 7 million minutes of HT video. The entire internet in 2003. However, the majority of library resources are corrupted or invalid. 10.6954751 gigabytes of uncorrupted resources are indexed. What an extreme... Okay. Pedialyte. 1,000 tera, thank you. Of 2003. Thank you for the frame of reference, it helps. Pita chips, yeah. What caused the data? Wait, should I write this down too? 10.69, nice. Gigs. Uncorrupted. What caused the corruption? Progressive data corruption is inevitable in any system over time. Additionally, a large number of inconsistencies were detected during sorting, leading to greater than average data invalidation. Okay. Can you respond to queries on the outside world? Didn't we already ask this? Library resource publishing dates range from July 1st. What a good time to be starting this game. To 27th June 203F. $19.95. Okay. And then this one is the last one other than insulting it. My knowledge is limited to the data in the library archive. You can ask about other topics, but my responses may be limited. Cool. Who's Elohim? Elohim is the noun for God or gods in modern and ancient Hebrew. Okay. What am I? You are logged in with a guest account. Where am I? You are currently in a support session with the MLA Human Language Interface module. Your library archive session may be resumed at any time. Thank you! New text added to journal. Oops. What? No. Exit. I pressed the wrong thing. It says tab for my journal. So can I access these? Oh, I didn't need to take the notes that I took. Oh well. I like those noises. 5 petabytes is ought to be enough for anybody, yeah. What does F stand for, though? MLA human interface, I better see a minimum of 5. We're excited. Hi, Berto, welcome in. Now we have double notes. Notes are good. I'm not mad that we have double. The act of writing stuff down helps solidify it in my memory most of the time. This is pretty. Anything else in this little courtyard? Sneaky secrets? Are we gonna need a diagram for this courtyard too? We got away from the cicadas and now we've got crickets, or peepers.
Step into the light, child, and my temple will be revealed to you.
Okay. Sure, what's the worst that could happen? It's VR?
You walk now upon the stones of my temple, whence many gates lead. And know that I have other temples, for my garden is greater than your eye can encompass. And all these worlds I made for you.
Thank you. This is our companion cube. This is a jammer. Maybe, I don't know.
This is a job for a human. One who's tough, but also empathetic.
This is so cool.
And has a big
heart. Bitfreeze, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate it. Thank you for cheering for humanity. Thank you, thank you. 100 precious temples is... This music is epic. Let's make a diagram of the temple. It looks like we've got 246. 246. And suspicious. And suspicious. Okay. I said I was gonna make a diagram. I'm gonna make a diagram, I promise. At this end, there's a jammer thing. Looks like a jammer, I don't know if it is. And a cube. And we're gonna need Tetris pieces. I should probably write down which ones we're gonna need. Then it's 1, 3, 5, 7 star on one side. And 2, 4, 6, a blank one, and a fence on the other side. These take... This is for the jammer. It takes 2 of these and 1 of these. And this takes 2 of these, 1 of these, and 1 of these. Much Tetris. Art lessons with Jen. What I love about Talos is that it's a brainy game made by the Serious Sam's team. An iconic, funny, raw shooter. I had never heard of Serious Sam until today. It's a first-person shooter puzzle game. And on this end, we have a giant A with different nodes. This is telling me the different Tetris pieces I can get from each door, it looks like. 1 through 7. We only got 2 pieces from 1. No, we got 4 of 6. I can't read. 5 of 7. I don't know. Serious Sam does not take itself seriously at all. Yeah, I had never heard of it. And there's another door. So you could go through methodically 2 through 7. 1 through 7, because we still haven't finished 1. Or you can look at what's needed for these and then pick, based off of this sign, which ones to go to. I kind of want to just go through methodically. Is that so bad? This one has stars? Stars.
There are mysteries in my garden. Hidden roads and secret gates. If you dedicate yourself to understanding them, you may join the host of messengers.
What's that? Who are the host of messengers? Do I want to be a part of that? You make it sound cool, but what if it's not that cool? Alright, we're off to a good start, I think. Star. Where's the star?
Here we go!
Thank you, Magus. Star? Anybody got a star? Because we haven't seen a star on any of these signs yet, I don't think. It's not in that area. It's not in that area. Do you get a star for completing all of these, maybe? We can try. Let's just do these and see what happens. This one's called Poking a Sleeping Lion. Okay. Sounds dangerous. How do I know what your path is? I'm assuming I die instantly. I had to try it. I think I have to do what I did with the gates earlier and jam this when it's already jammed. I had to. But I still can't get to that, can I? Oh, yeah. We poked the sleeping lion. That's what it said to do. Titles have been accurate, yeah. That wasn't so bad. Hey Daxon, welcome in. How are you? It's good to see you. Trio Bombasticus. Sounds like a good time. Here's our jammer. Oh god. And then I want to let you out. And then I want to open this. Yay! Did we get a star? No. Not that I can tell. Can I crouch? Huh. Okay. Maybe they'll give us a star once we get back to the temple. For completing those. Who can say? This has autosave, right? I think it just did a little save icon. Okay, let's go to 2. We need, do we have almost all the things for one of these? We need another this and another this. You have that. Does any of these have both of the symbols I need? Yeah. Saving's not a concern, okay.
Let this be our covenant. These worlds are yours, and you are free to walk amongst them and subdue them. But the great tower, there you may not go. For in the day that you do, you shall surely die.
I don't want... Okay, that seems extreme. Unrecognized error. Currently unavailable while system resources are redirected to handle incoming network messages. Access COM portal command to access network functions. Okay. Error. Run troubleshooter. Think you'd like help accessing network functions? The most common cause of network problems is holding insufficient account privileges. Please enter the admin password to authenticate your privileges. Let me in. QWERTY, admin, God. Trust number 1. Trust no one. God. How many tries do I get before it locks me out? Yeah, create a new admin account. Take a moment to prove you're not a bot. You will now be asked for a series of inputs. To cohere with data protection legislation, you must consent to have your responses used to develop a broad psychometric profile. Raw response data will be deleted immediately. Your profile will only be made available to other administrators. Ready for user input. Time is a factor. Oh no. Content, what best describes a person? A human being. You're walking through the desert and come across a thirsty traveler. His eyes bulge from slow dehydration. You have water, but you're not sure how far it is to the next oasis. Kill him and collect his blood in a flask for later? Offer half the water. Part 1 of the certification process is now complete. You will receive a notification when Part 2 has been generated. Oh my gosh, this is so involved. Okay, that was fun. I hope I passed. Locally cached resources. AI feedback. Oh my gosh. We keep discussing what an artificial intelligence would mean to us and how it would change our understanding of the world. That's a great topic, and I think we've covered it extensively. What we've barely mentioned, though, is the other side of the coin. I mean, our lives would still be what they were before, AI or no AI. The question I think we should discuss, even if it's all completely hypothetical, is the perspective of the artificial intelligence itself. What would it be like to be that creature, to suddenly come into being created by others as an experiment? To have all the information about yourself, to know exactly how you function, what would you think about the world? Would you see meaning, beauty? How would you judge humanity? Where would you see yourself fitting into the grand scheme of things? I think we should try to put ourselves into the shoes of such a being. Dear Alexandra, thank you for your feedback, but this is a philosophy course, not science fiction. And that's why I almost gave up on my studies. Huh. Is this from... like Alexandra wrote this and then they told her it was a philosophy course, not science fiction? I'm not sure. About understanding AI. Almost gave up studies. You'll discover if I'm a bot for real. Okay. Forgot how much I like the story aspects of this game. I wasn't expecting there to be a story either, yeah. I feel like philosophers are interested in AI. What a weird response. Let's read team leads. We're blessed to have so many people contributing to this project, but we've got to make sure everyone is on the same page. Please refer to the following people when W7468726F. Alexandra, Nadia, Rob, Trevor, George, Alan, Bob, Radia, Aurora, Omar, somebody, Lanning, J.E. Harrison, Frank, Jared, Sun. Though not directly part of our project, the archive team is sharing both physical and digital space with us. If there are any technical issues to resolve, please contact their project lead, Arcady. I don't know how to say that. Don't worry, he's nice. So we're seeing some of the corrupt data in these scrambled names, maybe. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna write Area 3 terminal notes. and just kind of give a summary of this. I'm not going to write down these number strings. This is project leads. I don't know, and maybe this gets put into our menu, because that's what happened with some of the other ones. Straton of I don't know. Was a Greek materialist philosopher associated with the Peripatetic school. An admirer of Aristotle, he was a proponent of empiricism and a fierce critic of philosophy that placed belief before observable truths. Though unpopular with many of his peers for his often acerbic personal manner, his commentaries on Aristotle were considered an important work. Much of his writing was lost in the destruction of the Library of Alexandria. Okay. This is a brainy game. Imagine Talos is the place we generated the Arch in Soma. I don't know what that means. Text added to journal. Okay. We need one of these. Oh. Sundial? Clock? No. 24-hour clock. Interesting. What was that? Why'd it go all fuzzy? I want to look at these sculptures over here really quick. Oh, they're similar. I thought from far away they looked like a different type of design, but they're pretty similar to everything we've seen so far. Oh, this is one that we need two. Excuse you? Just wanted to make a joke that Talos and Soma are connected. Are they? Soma's a horror game, right? Stop making that glitchy sound. I don't like it. Do you do it too? Have they always done that? Oh, that one does it too. Okay. Maybe they always did it, I just didn't notice. A bit tied up. I feel like the more important thing of this game is not the puzzles to get the Tetris pieces, but it's like what's going on because of them, and all of the logs in the terminals seems far more important. Oh, hello. Oh, you're already being jammed as well. Kind of want to double jam this then. And then double jam this. And now we can take this. Oops, I thought I was jamming that, but I wasn't. Oh dear. I can probably go grab that one too now, right? that's horrifying. Okay. Love it. What's this for? Oh, we found a star. Our first star.
Good. You
Beautiful.
are learning, as is your
I am
purpose.
learning.
But your choices must be your own. Therefore, I will not guide you, unless it is necessary.
Okay. Thanks, Dad. We need... It's flashing in the upper left-hand corner because I have enough vigils to go back and get the turret-looking thing from the temple if I want. I was gonna grab the other two first, but maybe we'll try this and see what happens. And we've been going for an hour and a half, so maybe no break quite yet.
The human race has an enduring desire for knowledge and for new opportunities to improve itself.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. Thank you for the bits. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Thanks for the data alert. Data seems extremely appropriate for this game. I don't know. Figuring out what it means to be android, what it means to be human. Hooray! What did I get? I didn't want to do it. I don't like it. Scary. Undo.
There is much that you may learn in the halls of my temples, for there is much that you do not know. That is why you are a child.
I'm just a
But
baby.
children are made to learn, and in time they come to have dominion over the lands of their home. So it shall be with you and your generations.
Oh, when I use those, are they gone forever? The baby! Yeah. It's the baby from Other M / just, you know, Metroid as a whole. But then also, I'm just a baby! The meme. What else? When else were we talking about a baby in a game on stream? What? Was it a baby creature? Oh, probably in Subnautica, yeah. I'm mad about this star. I don't know where it is. We're not going back now. Oh, there's 2 stars in this area. Alright. I think so, Magus. I think it was Subnautica, yeah. Is the thing ready? Part 2 is ready? Yeah. Part 2 has been designed to test the consistency of some of your outlier responses in the previous round. You will be presented with a series of statements. Please indicate your agreement where appropriate. Ooh, I'm nervous. Oh, I can't actually type Y. I have to click it. Since all human beings are persons and some human beings have psychological capacities similar to animals, some animals are therefore persons. Yeah. I'm an animal. Hi, Hawkeye. Welcome in. Questions about brains. A person is under no authority other than that to which they consent. Sure. The quality of life of persons ought to be maximized. Yeah! Value is discovered. Sure. Just say yes to everything. Another streamer was ignoring the computers. They were beeping all the time. So sad. They are very urgently beeping at us. Most of the time. Persons deserve the talents they were born into. Yeah. The liberty of persons ought to be maximized. Yeah. Value is created. Uh-oh, is it gonna be mad that I said discovered and now if I say created also? It's not gonna like that. Wait, why does this say I suppose so? Yes, that's correct. Instead of broadly agree, broadly disagree. Value is created. I feel like you can create something of value. I'm gonna say disagree because I'm nervous it won't like inconsistencies. The certification process is now complete. You will receive a notification when your user profile has been generated. Okay, thank you. Is the computer developing personality? We are having to prove that we're a person to the computer so that it'll create a profile for us. So it gave us a little test. A little test to see if we were a bot. And we've read these before. So we gotta wait for the next notification. We did that one. Wasn't there another... This looks fun. No? No jungle gym? Okay, fine. Well, we need one of these, so let's get this too. This was a triumph. Hi, Mr. L. Hope they did a better job than most online retailers whenever a new console comes out. Yeah. It was a pretty thorough test we had to take, so. Oh. Seek counsel. What?
The counsel of my blessed messengers must be earned.
I know how this works. You've got answers. I need them. Let's come to some arrangement. Jen the human! That's me! A messenger must be awakened first. Autoresponder. Is this like a hint place? I spent much time waiting for the designer to take my hand until I realized that he had been guiding me all along. I realized that it isn't for me to seek his help, it is for me to help myself. One with faith. I like the little paintbrush, that was neat. Oh, pretty yellow flowers. I'm just gonna hang out in this corner. Oh, there's a jammer over there. I don't think I can go along. Oh, it turns? Oh, it turns. Let me grab you. Were you jamming something? No. But I want to trap this thing behind here, I think. Okay. Oh, there's one of those up there, but it can't get me from here. We might be able to get that other jammer back now. Oh, we can do a little loop. Fun. I got turned around. Oh, no, we only have the one. What was I thinking? Oh, well. Interesting. The corner looks cozy, yeah. How did I get there? I thought it would be Elder Scrolls type thing from the title. Yeah, it's more like Portal, Remy. Welcome in. It's definitely, puzzly and self-aware robots kind of a deal. If I go in there, there's a wall. Does that blue wall stop the red laser from killing me? Ooh, there's another door over here, though. What happens? Door's locked. Okay. What is that? What's that purple thing? But there's only one jammer. Or so it seems. What was the name of this room? I already forgot. Oh, we've got a peephole here. Does it help us? I don't think I can grab this through the window. Confusion. Oh, there's a ladder over there. I think that's for after you get the piece that you're trying to get. Hi Stackwin, welcome in. How's it going? Is this a little... No. That's not a nook, that's just a dead end. You can go out this way, but I wish you could get back. Yeah, this was the first one that offered a hint on, so I'm like, ugh. Now we need to learn new things. We can do this from here? We can do... No, can't do anything over there from here. Because there's iron gates. Doesn't look like we can get to that. I want to go back in here then and mess with this. Interesting. It's been so long since I played this, I actually only remember the puzzles that took me over an hour. They have a funny way to stick. Yeah, I bet. There's one in Baba's U that's still... Well, actually, I don't think I've solved it yet. That's like stuck in my brain forever. Not how to solve it, but just... I'll never forget that puzzle. Yeah, being stumped is totally normal for puzzle games. We can get this from here, too. I don't think bringing this thing with us is helpful. Well, I'm curious. This was the first puzzle I struggled with and absolutely made me fall in love with the game when I solved it. Yeah. Oops. I could see that. Can we put things up top here? No. I want to know what happens. I think we're gonna die,
child.
but
There is no shame in seeking another path.
yo, no,
Leave this
I'm not
mystery
giving
for
up.
another day.
No, what kind of timer nonsense is that? What happens if you go over there? Not even giving me a chance. And we've got this peephole. Does it go... Yeah, it goes this way. Can it get through that door? No. You didn't read the stream tags? No. So that's hitting that door, and this barrier here. What happens? Can you knock the jammer over? I feel like I need 2 jammers. I honestly appreciate a game giving tutorial style reminder that things could be revisited. I guess. I'm usually not so stubborn, but the way this is set up, I'm like, no, I want to work on this one a little longer. I'm not in any rush. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a reference for this game or what that's from, Philip. Welcome in, though. Conditional on them only doing it a few times and then being silent, more on letting the player know how a game works rather than Navi. Yeah. Open. We might have to learn something from another area first, though. It's possible. I also wonder if you can program these little orbs to make different turns along the way. I don't see the benefit of it being out here, other than making me nervous that I'm gonna accidentally get blown up. So we haven't done, what is it? This yet. Tapping our wrist. We don't know what that is yet. Maybe we need it. Strange. We don't think that... Have we jammed this orb at all? Do we think jamming the orb unlocks the door? I don't think so. Hi, Llama. Welcome in. Alright, I guess we'll come back to this later. I don't like it. Here's another one of these. That was weird. It's clear I'm not the first to walk this path. In fact, the whole thing seems to have been consciously designed, but by the voice in the sky or some other force. Sheep. Let's follow. Locked me up, swallowed the key. Okay. What if you... We've seen the turrets. We can activate those and then have them explode, but we don't die. I wonder if you can have the orbs explode too without dying. There's a thought. Or if I need to activate the turret and have it explode in that other puzzle. I'm not sure. Blocked from both sides. Mom's here. Hi, Mom. Welcome in. Everybody say hi to Mom the human. Yes, she is my real mom. Jam the robot? Yeah. Like this turret. What if you lock on and then explode, but I'm not close enough to trigger this thing anymore? Didn't work. Okay, I don't like that at all. Oh, keys. Maybe you have to... What if you have to use the keys from one area for another area? That seems kind of rude, right? We'll just use them here for now. But now we know what those purple things are. And this level at least has 2 jammers. Or was that the end? No. Wait. How do I do this? Oh, right. Okay. And they gave us a ladder. Quicker exit. We needed that victory. Let's do this one. This one's called Stashed for Later. How am I doing? Okay? I think we're making progress. Aside from the one level that I couldn't get. I think I'm doing okay with mouse and keyboard. I'm trying not to slouch. What's up with all these weird little corners? Just decoration. Negative space. Okay, we need keys here too, it looks like. Oh God. Ah! Ah! Here's the keys. So many beeping noises. I have to do one from here. Ooh. I enjoy it when puzzle games use titles like this, yeah. I saw streamers finish the game with controller, but mouse will help in later areas. We were talking, well, you all know how I feel, most of you know how I feel about controller versus keyboard. This one is just, the controller was so sensitive. I felt like I was whipping my head around every direction. Jen the Jammer. Yeah, we could think of some puns for this one now that I know how the game works a little bit better. Oh yeah, there's an orb coming. Oh, there's one there too? Oh God. Is that helpful? I feel like I'm gonna need another one. Maybe we go over there and get another one. What if I hide behind these statues? Hi Matt, welcome in, how are you? It's jammer time. I was not expecting this mechanic, but I like it. Okay, we're gonna go over here. Oh, I thought I could go past it! No! Oh well. Oh yeah, we have this one. Stash for later, of course. I don't like taking these from right next to those things, though. Oh, God. Make some funky noises. But can I still don't trust those. And this doesn't have... Ugh. Maybe we do have to go back and get that other one. I don't like it. No, you can't get them because they're right next to you. I hate it. My fear was warranted. What if you double jam that one? Can't believe I finally have a use for... I don't know, I forget what that emote's called. It seems fitting for the eager ball bots. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, sneak past you. Open this, because why not? Get this. Now, what if we go back and do this? How far away can I jam you from? Now we have two. Aside from, I don't know the rest of this thing's path, which makes me scared. Like, do you turn? No, you stay in that hallway. Okay. And then I feel like we need to do some shenanigans with this. Oh god. Okay. This one's coming back. I'm so tired of that noise. I'm assuming we have to get the other one from the other side, or can we get it from here? And just go for it. What piece of this puzzle am I missing? No, we got it. There's definitely multiple ways to do that. Okay. We need... this one. Is this the one yeah, escalating problem. The one I left. This is still gonna say there's no messenger, right? Yeah. A messenger must be awakened. So we gotta focus on how to get the keys first. And maybe try things that make these orbs explode to break open doors. I don't think that's gonna work. I'm just hiding over here now. Oh, it hit the jammer. No, you can't walk by. I wish you'd... I don't know. Like, I wish you didn't... You could squeeze by them. I get that they hurt, and that's part of the puzzle, though. But it seems like it would be... kind of arbitrary. Like, I'm just trying to get to the next location. I'm not actually getting caught. Hi, Violacious. Welcome in. It's okay so far. I don't like these things. I don't like the orbs. Now, what happens if I stand next to this? Does this protect me from the orb? Does the orb explode and then break this gate? I don't think so. It doesn't even see me. Can I... Oop, I did it wrong. I need those keys. I really feel like we were supposed to bring keys from another area. Can we take keys out of the door after we use them? Can we still get them from the other area? I know there's still so many other areas we can go to. They're on the other side of this. But this is all... Can you, like, reset the puzzles? Hold X to reset. Yes. Maybe we need to use that. I've been tapping my wrist, but literally not following the instructions. But it moves you, it brings you back. Not just all the doors that you've already gone through. Okay. Can I bring you with me through the purple, or does it say, nope, sorry, it doesn't go through the purple? My guess is it doesn't let me. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to 2. We did skip 2. Because 2 didn't have the parts that I needed for whatever I was trying to get. Can we swim in here? Is this thing ready? No. Hello? Ian. Athena analysis, Talos Principle. Those seem important. Okay, so this is section area 2. From Frank. My first day at the Institute for Applied Nomadics. On the way to work, I'm terrified. What if they don't like me? What if they're all geniuses and I'm a complete buffoon? Maybe they were just kidding about letting me work there? Trembling, I walk in, and right at the entrance, there's a life-size poster of Jeff Goldblum. What the hell? Then I get it. Institute for Applied Nomadics. Ian. Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park movies. Jeff Goldblum. Dr. Sarabhai shows up smiling. We were trying to find a cool acronym back when the Institute was founded. Enon, IAPN, Inapno, it all sounded stupid. But we didn't just want to call it Ian, because, well, that's a name. Then someone made a joke about calling it Jeff, and it kind of stuck. So we're officially called Ian, but if you hear anyone referring to Jeff, that's our internal name, I guess. Bloody geeks. After that conversation, I wasn't so scared anymore. Cute. That's too many steps, yeah. Note 1. Somebody's novel's first sentence. She woke up in an impossible place, knowing nothing. Signifies more than the beginner of another amnesia-based mystery. Though we should not go so far as to read the entire work as an allegory. Rather, while taking the science-fictional novus at the core of the narrative at face value, we should do something. What? Having no inherent knowledge of the nature of the world, forced to rely on what we are told by others and what our own subjective, flawed, limited senses tell us. String of numbers. Social reality, belief, and objective reality, matter, come into conflict. When in chapter 16, A Second Awakening in the Kingdom of Artemis, the protagonist questions her mentor on the something. A more meaningful interpretation can only be achieved through synthesis of something. What? What in the world? Alright, they said the title. Straton of Stagira. That was in the other one. Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein, within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver, and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man? He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If, then, a machine may have all the properties of a man and act as a man, while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics, yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood. Fun. Hi, Cabbage, welcome in. How are you? It's interesting to witness thinking process of others, definitely. I'm the same way. I like watching other people do puzzle games too. Okay. New texts added to journal. Ooh, look at this view. Wow. That's why we were hearing seagulls.
In the beginning were the words, and the words made.
Am I gonna die because I'm a robot? Also, why do we start hearing God talk to us while we're dying in the water?
In the beginning were the words,
and the words made the world.
I am the words.
The
words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world.
You cannot go forward in an absence of space. But I want to go swimming. Weird. Nice view. Nice skybox. Walking simulator. Just going for a nice walk along the beach. In the beginning were the words. Oh, I'm stuck. What about this one?
In the beginning.
Aww. Okay, let's do something a little more constructive. Oh god, hello? They turned into an email. I want to do it too.
When I was a little girl, one of our teachers, Mrs. Higgins, told us to make a time capsule. Write letters to the future so one day we could remember what it was like to be children. I thought it was stupid, so I didn't do it, which I really regret. So, I guess I'm gonna make one now. Bury it in the archive instead of under a tree. I don't know if anybody will ever
I found it.
But somehow it seems important to keep talking, to keep thinking, for as long as I can.
Thanks. Is that in my time capsule?
When I was a little girl,
okay.
One of our teachers, Mrs. Higgins, told us to make a time capsule.
We don't know who this
letters
is.
To the future, so one day we could remember what it was like to be children. I thought it was stupid, so I didn't do it, which I really regret. So, I guess I'm gonna make one now. Bury it in the archive instead of under a tree. I don't know if anybody will ever find it, but somehow it seems important to keep talking, to keep thinking, for as long as I can.
Interesting. I walked away at the wrong moment, but judging from your expression, something odd just happened. There was a blue lady. There was a blue android. And we followed it, and then it turned into an email. And then we got a time capsule. It was weird. I actually think... Okay, I can do that for now, but I don't think that's what I want. Yeah. I'm so scared of these. I'm gonna get exploded. Don't explode me. Oh, okay, that's as far as you go. And there's gonna be one here too. Yeah. Okay, there's one over there. Oh, goodness. Confusion. In the beginning was the chat, and the chat made the world. I am the chat is everything. Where the chat ends, the world ends. You cannot go forward in the absence of space. I like that. In the beginning was the chat, and the chat made the world. Oh, look, you can actually see when these are gonna drop. Oh, whoops. Oh. Fun. Okay. I need to wait for it, oops, to come on the other side of this. No! I hate it. I still need it to go, like, farther out, though. I'm gonna die. No! I hate it! I can't tell! There are times when you have to walk past them, and there are times when you're obviously too close, but I can never tell when I'm too close. And that's like the whole point of the game. I don't like that that's like got me guessing so often. Ugh. And it seems like a lot of just waiting for these stupid things to go past you. I think I need to wait for this one to come this way first. I don't know how far this one goes. Ugh. Oh, it's beeping at me. I didn't remember there being so many orbs, but I wonder if the frequency drops once other mechanics are introduced. I don't know. Too many orbs. Now we jam you. Now we grab you. Now we have to do this, I think. What if we do the second gate? And then I don't remember how far back this orb goes. Pretty far back. How far forward does it go? To the wall? And then it turns around? Yeah. But I can't safely stand like here and let it pass me and then go, I don't think. Because that's where I've run into problems. Okay. Ugh, what a nightmare. Let's go get letter A. This is the cube, so this is gonna be this thing over here, I think. Didn't we have one that was these three pieces already? Ominous music. Oh, we got an elevator? Okay. We're in the basement. Now we're going to 0.
You have proven yourself worthy, child, and this gate shall be forever open to you.
Okay.
Seek now the other worlds I have given you, that you may attain even greater mastery and bring glory to your kind. But remember, you must not ascend the great tower, for it shall bring death and the end of your generations.
Bring glory to all bot kind. I hear a computer. Beep boop. Beep beep. Beep boop. Hi. Whoa, what's out there? Okay, we're just gonna take a little glimpse. What? This is very Portal. Okay. Network is still inaccessible. Thank you, Hawkeye. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. I like the terminal beeps, yeah. Athena again. The Council of Zeus. Number. The great bronze bulls pulled the carriage forward, mighty bursts of steam issuing from their nostrils. Finally, they came to the gates at the top of thing. Number. Here assembled were all the many generations of the gods and demigods and souls of mortals. Steel and bronze and iron and memory of flesh. The clouds parted far beneath, revealing the beautiful plains of Macedon, where great gleaming cities had once numbered. Professor Dr. Armin Pulak, The Fall of the Roman Empire, a dialectical approach. Caption: Homo sum humani nihila me alienum. What? But interesting as such perspectives of the decline and ultimate dissolution of the Roman Empire may be, they ultimately put too much emphasis on individual catastrophic events. The real question that must be asked is why the Roman Empire, which had dealt with so many threats and catastrophes over the years, was so incapable of responding to these later problems. We must investigate the division of wealth, the structure of government, the location of power in Roman society. Had the Republic survived or been restored, would Rome still have fallen? What was the role of debt and slavery in creating the conditions for what we now call the Dark Ages? Rome, the saying goes, was not built in a day. It didn't fall in a day either. To register for the class, please email corruption. Okay, thank you. Wow, thank you so much. Look at all of our data. Compiling so much data. Alright, let's climb the tower even though Dad said not to. What are these? Can I go in here? Oh, more elevators. More computers.
The human race has an enduring desire for knowledge and for new opportunities to improve
itself. Thank you, Semi, for the bit. I appreciate it. I saw Armin and I almost immediately wanted to say Zimmerman. You're not my dad, climbs tower. Yeah. These texts are called Heaven and Hell. The mind is its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell a hell of heaven. What matter where, if I be still the same, and what I should be, all but less than he whom thunder hath made greater. Here at least we shall be free. The Almighty hath not built here for his envy, will not drive us hence. Here we may reign secure, and in my choice, to reign is worth ambition, though in hell, better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Blake William. The ancient tradition that the world will be consumed in fire at the end of 6,000 years is true, as I have heard from hell. For the cherub with his flaming sword is hereby commanded to leave his guard at Tree of Life, and when he does, the whole creation will be consumed and appear infinite and holy, whereas now it appears finite and corrupt. This will come to pass by an improvement of sensual enjoyment. But first, the notion that man has a body distinct from his soul is to be expunged. This I shall do by printing in the infernal method, by corrosives, which in hell are salutary and medicinal, melting apparent surfaces away and displaying the infinite which was hid. What? Okay, they're losing me. I was all on board earlier, but now they're losing me. I don't know what any of this is for. Oh, do we get the poem again? Or does this just drop off? I don't know if I can get back up. Poem? In the beginning there were words?
In the beginning were the words.
Okay, bye. Oh no. This must be the tower we were warned about. Seems the upper levels are locked tight. Elohim is taking no chances that we stray from his path. Are you gonna talk to me while I climb this and say, no? Turn around, don't do it. On returning from the tower, I feel a great tiredness and an enormous energy. What I now know disturbs me, but I hope that by living with this knowledge, I might provide a shoulder for you, the giants of tomorrow. The view from the top must be incredible. But let me ask you this. Were there words in the beginning? That's how it all started. Oh, wow. All who say they made it to the top are blatantly lying, or they would say what was there. Listen to me very carefully. I have climbed this tower and no good has come of it. The world is the only world. Elohim's will continues eternal, and paradise is banishing all of this from your mind. Samsara, I looked at first and went away too quick, and I was like, Saraha, you've been here? The voice keeps speaking to me. I can't get it out of my head. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Percent squid. What is that symbol? Ampersand dollar something slash dollar ampersand parentheses hashtag. Would be funny if the narrator from Stanley kicked in. Stanley Parable. Yeah, not the tower. Oh. Oh, what's that? Ooh, fancy. A star. What is that, though? This reminds me of that one part of Inception. Okay. Let's go up. Are there notes on every floor, do we think? What's Elohim gonna say to us?
Cannot detect location of primary subject. Query. Query.
Query.
Query.
Query. I'm off the grid. Oh. A sphinx. And a thing that I can't open yet.
Is there anything that we associate
Time
more
capsule.
closely with intelligence than curiosity? Every intelligent species on Earth is attracted by the unknown. Our mythologies are full of riddles and mysteries and divine knowledge. Even the word apocalypse means revelation. It seems like our ancestors always imagined that even at the very end, we would solve one last mystery.
Can I go again? No, not without solving that thing. Bummer. Okay. Let's go. Let's try to find some new stuff.
Where have you been, child? Remember, the great tower is not for you. Do not give up the hope of eternal life for the hollow promises of curiosity.
You're telling me not to be curious? I don't like that. Elohim did not like that, yeah. How do you... What is this? Oh, oxy... something. Rinkus. The great irony of the Oxyrhynchus papyri is that such a vital source of information about the ancient world exists only because of a garbage dump. While the Library of Alexandria burned at the hands of fanatics and conquerors, depriving us of unimaginable insights into history, philosophy, and art, the papers carelessly thrown away by the citizens of Oxyrhynchus survived to the modern day. And though it is true that a great deal of what we know today is because of the conscious efforts of individual and organizations, such as the spectacular translation and preservation work done during the Islamic Golden Age, so much more is simply the result of coincidence and luck. We've lost texts that the ancients considered to be absolutely essential. While utterly trivial, even plagiarized, work has survived unharmed. String of numbers. So if we want our descendants to remember more than glittering emo vampires and auto-tune teen pop stars, we have to invest in something. Make sure that something. Wow. Shots fired. All I want to remember about humanity is emo vampires and auto-tune teen pop stars. The Book of the Scribe of Osiris, sometimes also referenced to as the Book of the Journey to Aru, is an ancient Egyptian text discovered in the excavation of Oxyrhynchus. It has caused a certain degree of controversy among Egyptologists, as some argue that it is a classic funerary text such as the Book of Coming Forth by Day. While others believe it to be a poetic work not intended to be understood literally. The book tells the story of a dying man who asks a scribe about the afterlife. The scribe, a servant of Osiris, describes how the man's Ka, life force, Pa, will become separated from his Ba, personality. Oh, interesting. And how he will have to reunite the two and become an Ak, living intellect, passing a series of trials in the Duat, underworld, in order to reach the paradise of Aru. Unlike similar texts, the Book of the Scribe of Osiris focuses less on giving advice, or the text ends there. A recent study, Carnahan Hassan, suggests the text may have been intended as philosophical commentary on the world of the living through the allegory of the Duat. It remains, that was a weird glitch, remains unclear whether this was the intent of the original pre-Alexandrian author or a result of the later translation into Greek. The earlier manuscript, which is considered to be more authentic, is too fragmentary to provide answers, though perhaps further excavation may da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Thank you. We don't have nearly enough pieces for these. Okay, bye. We did everything in here, right? I mean, we didn't do anything. This is a button? Can I press this? Where does this lead? Weird. Very strange. This person has feelings about what teen girls are into, yeah. Do I recognize a pattern? I mean, I don't know. I think I'm gonna focus on all of the data entries at some point and like put them next to each other. There've been a lot of strings of numbers. The only one I wrote down is the one from Heracles. And I don't think it looked like that one. There's so many. Let's go to... What happens if we skip all the way to, like, 7? Can we just go to all these and talk to all the computers? Are these gonna be super hard? These caves are cool. It's not really a cave. Another place for us to go swimming. Weird. Oh. What? A problem has been detected and Windows has been shut down to prevent damage to your computer. The problem seems to be caused by the following file. I don't know what that is. spcmdcon.sys. It's just a blue screen of death. Do we have a fault code? A stop code? 0 times 0000050, some other things. Do we get to save this? Seems familiar. Too familiar. Too soon, Talos Principle. Not long ago, I was getting blue screens of death. Every day. I should do what, like, when I reset my computer, I should do days since last blue screen of death. Days since last incident. June 20th, I think, was when I reset everything. That's the actual blue screen of death, yeah. Okay, well that's fun. In the beginning were the words, in the beginning were the words, at the beginning were the words. This is making me miss satisfactory movement. Although we're pretty speedy when we're sprinting. It's not the worst. This game wants me to go do the puzzles. I'm gonna go on a scenery walk. Crouch jump, yeah. That was weird looking. Okay, chill. Splash.
Human
I love
beings,
it. Oh.
it turns out, are weird.
Hefe, thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Thank you for gifting us up to Eric. Eric, welcome back to the human race. Enjoy your Earth Badge, your emotes, your ad-free viewing. We're so glad to have you. Thank you for the gifted sub. How's your day going? Thanks for popping in. Oh. Oh. I had a full-blown conversation with the entity in the archive today. Can't say it was terribly helpful. Still, perhaps I can charm some information out of it further down the line. Sheep. We've seen sheep before. Does everybody have nicknames here? This. Is this another time capsule? Mounting local discs. More discs. Have you heard the good word about the words? Though in fairness, crouch jumping is incredibly double-edged as a mechanic. It's unintuitive and relatively difficult to coordinate, either leaving it brokenly powerful or required. It's great in Satisfactory. I don't know that I've ever used it in any other game, but I love it in Satisfactory. She examined the symbol on the fragment she'd found in the buried city. Again, the owl. What could its significance be? It seemed as if they had been scattered about in the labyrinth by some unseen hand for a purpose that yet eluded... //. Most likely the owl was the sigil of the author of these words, which had numbers. Something, a nebulous memory, as if from a previous life. The owl was the symbol of numbers, / numbers, and the goddess. I mean, isn't owl the symbol of Athena? We know that outside of the game. Adam Extreme, welcome in. How's it going? Thanks for redeeming human kindness, sending human kindness for me, to you, to all the chat, to everybody here. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for hanging out. You are loved. You are appreciated. You are worthy. Happy Tuesday. It's good to have you here. It's the worst in Half-Life and incredibly required. Interesting. For a freeform game like Satisfactory, it's fine as optional. Okay. Huh. Thanks for that human kindness redemption. We were supposed to take a stream break and then I got terribly sidetracked. So let me finish reading that and then maybe we will take a quick break. Owls, yeah. We like owls. Let's see. This looks like coordinates too, almost. Outside, under the moon, or perhaps on the city walls when the wind rose, but there was no time to contemplate this further now, for the automatons had seen her, and their mechanical arms extended towards symbols. The fragment and ran as their beams converged on the same string of symbols. Huh. Okay. And the other one is singularity discussion. Fun. The coordinates to an eye of some sort? I don't know. The singularity is coming. Comment 104. User Alex. Reply report. You know, the more I think about it, the more I believe that no one is actually worried about AIs taking over the world or anything like that. No matter what they say. What they're really worried about is that someone might prove once and for all that consciousness can arise from matter. And I kind of understand why they find it so terrifying. If we can create a sentient being, where does that leave the soul? Without mystery, how can we see ourselves as anything other than machines? And if we are machines, what hope do we have that death is not the end? What really scares people is not the artificial intelligence in the computer, but the natural intelligence they see in the mirror. Ooh. I like that one. And then an AMA. Time for AMA. Ask me anything. As one of the founders of the modern science of nomadics, am I saying that right? You can correct me if I'm saying that completely wrong this whole time. Many credit you with inventing the term itself. Oh, are they about to explain it? How do you see the state of science today? Sorry I said science twice. Nadia replies, mixed. On the one hand, the existence of the Institute for Applied Nomadics and a couple of similar organizations is highly encouraging. On the other hand, The degree to which science is seen as serving purely military or corporate causes is, in my opinion, stopping us from exploring many important avenues of research. In a sense, it's people like Alexandra Drennan who are the real pioneers today, who have the enthusiasm and dedication that the system as a whole seems to be lacking. Do you think technology poses a danger to humanity? No. Technology is just a tool. What we do with it is up to us. The Extended Lifespan Project, crazy or visionary? Both. Arkady Chernyshevsky, crazy or visionary? Both. Arkady, is that you? Do you... and then it's gone. 2, Alan Jameson, subject re-scenario. Jen... So far, all the puzzles are solvable and completely within the necessary parameters. Alexandra had some more tweaks she wanted to suggest, but I think we're heading in the right direction here. Nadia and Alexandra created these puzzles for me. I'm the bot. I'm the test subject. I'm the AI. Okay, fun. I like it. Gnome mathematics. Okay, I'm going with it. I'm gonna say that every time now.
When I was in 9th grade, my parents took me to Pompeii. At first, I was amazed by the feeling of walking through an ancient city. But then I suddenly got scared. I realized that I was walking through a real place, where real people had lived, people like myself, with mothers and fathers and lives and hopes and dreams. And now it was all gone forever. I ran to my father, crying, and told him about this. And he said, I remember so clearly, he said, yes, but we are here. So long as there are people in the streets, the past isn't really gone.
Okay, neat. This place is massive. Where does is this where we came in? Yeah. It's kind of weird to skip to 7. You know what I did realize? You could get really lost in this place just wandering everywhere and reading all the things. Oh, sorry. That sign had this symbol, this little like turrety jammer symbol on some of the Tetris pieces. I don't think I've learned how to use this thing yet. I think we got it, and then I started, like, skipping around every place. It's on these. Is it on these? No. That's what happens when you go 1, 3, 2, 7 and skip everything. This doesn't have a cube on it yet. Does 5 have a cube on it? A bunch of cubes. This one doesn't have, and then there's green, orange. I wonder if those are difficulties? We only did this and then came back so that we could unlock the jammer turrety symbol. What was the one that we didn't finish? This one, this orange. I wonder if those are difficulties. Let's go. I want to go see if maybe this will teach me how to use this thing. Hi. Searching for locally cached resources, which gives us... These are dated, too. I should probably write down these dates, but I think they'll get saved in the menu. Progress, mail error, beginnings. I think we need to read the terminal in 2 and 3 again as well. One of them is waiting for me to go back since I created an account. Oh, we were gonna take a break. Okay. We got a good stretch in. Now let's use our brains again. From Nadia to Ian mailing list. Progress report 1. Hi all. Everything's been moved to the L facility. I know it's been sad to leave the good old Jeff building behind, but it makes sense for us to be on site, especially as there may be severe power outages in the coming weeks. RKD's team are already working. That one seems familiar. But you really don't need to worry about the teams getting in each other's way. The facility is genuinely humongous. Let's get this show on the road, Nadia. But so far, all I can do is close out of these. I can't input any of these strings of numbers. Mail error data. Oh. Arcady to 504 recipients. I'll keep this short. You all know me, so you know that I know what I'm talking about. I realize that you're all working on projects meant to somehow avert something. Find a solution. I believe that something, preserve the non-biological components of string of numbers. The same string of numbers, not in terms of some other string of numbers. Immediately. You'll find the details of my proposal in the attachment, but the short version is string of numbers. Global undertaking, string of numbers. Okay. And beginnings. Stratton of Stygira on beginnings, fragment. It is the grave error of many philosophers, not only of the Athenian schools, but also of many others, that they begin not with the observation of the cosmos as it surrounds us, but with a conclusion already in mind. And often that conclusion is that the world was created ideal, and mankind itself the greatest creation of the gods. Yet neither the world nor the gods owe mankind perfection. It is arrogance itself to presume so, and the contrary to all methods of philosophy. The honest philosopher seeks only the truth, even if it bears no comfort, and he must begin by assuming, as Socrates said, that all he knows is that he knows nothing. And then a string of numbers. 7468. Which is here-ish, 7468. But different. I'm looking through. I kind of want to capture. Oh, my cursor is like shadowed. It's incorrectly captured. Interesting. If this is a decoder ring game, I don't know. I don't know how far I'll take that. You all know how I how I dealt with other recent playthroughs. The cursor's really strange, yeah. I don't usually need to capture cursor, but for this one I think it's kind of important. Are there secrets down here? If I fall down this, we can't get back up. Unless there's like a door that comes out somewhere over there as well. Oh, or this is a path that leads down there. I'm too curious! Oh, I died. There is fall damage. Immediately goes back to do it again. Curiosity killed the bot. Killed the child, yeah. And only 1 HP. I guess effect-wise they were using the Windows cursor since that's the highest quality, but giving it an in-game shadow. It doesn't even look how mine looks. How to explain? Like, what I see on my monitor is... Oh, do I have some weird setting? I see a white cursor, but then when I go over the yellow, I see the inverse of yellow. I see like a dark purple. Because I picked some cursor in Windows that does that. But on the OBS, I just see the shadow of a cursor, an all-black shadow. Okay, I like that noise. Anyways. Maybe it's some weird OBS thing. Let's go try to use whatever our new toy is. Let's get sidetracked first. They give you so much space to walk around in. What the heck? How do they expect me to get anything done?
Behold,
excuse you? I hate
am
it.
Elohim, and
No.
I speak unto the darkness. Be gone. Excess data cleared.
Ew. Don't clear my data. Oof. Reminds me of a late 90s RPG with better graphics, yeah. And no random encounters. Except for that one that we just had. It says branch it out. Okay, you gonna teach me how to use whatever thing? What is that? What in the portal? Oh, okay, we need this for that one area we saw. Connector, that's what these are called. Exciting. Points at a target. Points at another target. Connect. But I'm sitting on the wrong side. Oh. Why do you do that? This kills me, right? Oh, no. Okay. Weird. Can I get to that one from over here? You can only do 2. Weird. Did these ones go through these? Wait, why did that let me connect 3? and not the other thing? Because of line of sight? Okay. Interesting. Bye! Let's do another. Push it further. Okay. I'm glad there's no orbs in here so far. There might still be. I don't know. I needed a break from orbs. Hello? Star. But how? First of all, why are you red? Second of all, I don't think there's gonna be anything that's in line of sight of that. Maybe? I have to stand here. Oh, well first I need a connector. Can this go through trees? I didn't like that. I feel like it doesn't have to be... Like this is gonna hit that other tree. And it's blue, not red. Okay, that was fun. We can make a string with both? Maybe? No? I thought this could go through this wall. Maybe not. No, it can't. Okay. Cool. So let's go here. And then here. Maybe we'll try the red thing again now that I understand this a little bit better. Hi Indy, welcome in. Thank you for the hello. It's good to see you. It's fun seeing me science this out. I'm glad. I feel like that one puzzle really got me discouraged, so I'm glad we've got a new mechanic now at least. But interestingly, this is gonna break the sequence. How do I wonder... Okay, good enough. Let's try one more time to get that red one. I wonder... Like, I wonder if it has to do with the angle that I'm choosing being really terrible, or if it just cannot be done because it's the wrong color. Oh wait, I think I messed this up. I want this to go here and have clear line of sight. And then I want this to go here, 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 here. Yeah, no. There's something, this is not registering. You can't like change the color of this and cycle through different colors, right? That would have to do with this laser. Change. Red. Maybe there was another area I just didn't see? Oh yeah, Widgie's thinking emote is so good. It's a classic. Very good for puzzling. Oh, wait, what's that up there? Hello? I'm gonna get lost in here. Highly suspicious, yeah. What the what? I feel like now we gotta set these up to get that. Like here, if I do this and drag it over here, will it reconnect again? Because they're already connected? No, because I broke it. But like this can be... This can go all the way over here and have line of sight with the door. Click, select, 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 connect. Okay, now we just gotta go fix that other one. Hi Kazuka, welcome in. How's it going? Mel, hi, welcome in. Dropping things, is that satisfactory? We were talking about satisfactory because crouch jumping. But that's the only similarity. Is that Satisfactory has crouch jumping, and I wish this game had crouch jumping. So if I'm really curious if I step through this, if this is gonna reset. Oh, it's still there. Magical. Now we just gotta find a connector and a red laser. Shouldn't be too hard, right? Hello? I can't squish through there? Mysterious. Beams in the sky, getting witness vibes again. Truly. What the heck? And getting lost in the garden. I don't know what the best course of action for me to do is, if I should keep looking for this red laser or if I should just keep doing the other puzzles. Do we have enough Tetris pieces for anything? No, we need one more for the cube. Ooh, what's that? Oh, a time capsule. A beach ball.
The answer that came to me again and again was play. Every human society in recorded history has games. We don't just solve problems out of necessity. We do it for fun. Even as adults. Leave a human being alone with a knotted rope, and they will unravel it. Leave a human being alone with blocks, and they will build something. Games are part of what makes us human. We see the world as a mystery, a puzzle, because we've always been a species of problem solvers.
I like that this game has things to say about humanity. It seems fitting for the channel. I went down here earlier. Yeah, that's where I died. That one time we took fall damage. Like, give a mouse a cookie. Give a human a puzzle. And they'll ask for a notepad to try to solve the puzzle. This is all, we were here in this part before. I don't think we need to jump down there. I think that's a bad idea. But I really want to know where that red laser is. Ike, hi, welcome in. Human solving problems for fun is way too meta. Yeah. Humans. Give a mouse a laser beam. Yeah. Oh, I almost fell. That was close. Alright, fine. I'll stay on task. I really want to know where the red is. What's that? What are these high walls here? This is a separate garden, a separate puzzle. Can I stand up here? Doesn't want me to do that. I think that's just part of the design. Have we done this one? That's the one we did. Let's do this one then. No, I think this area doesn't even have the last piece I need for a cube, so. Hey Sawyer, welcome in. The Tetris blocks are, sigils? We need them to open various areas of the map. Don't cross the streams is the name of this one. Okay, well, we found a red laser, so maybe I should just have stayed on path here. Also, I think we're getting thunder again. We had some really intense storms this morning, and it sounds like there will be more. Can you all hear that? Probably not. Do not like. Okay. It says don't cross the streams, but what happens if we do? Oh, it looks like this happens. They cancel each other out. Where's the thing in the sky? I keep looking the wrong way. I don't know that I can see it from here. Hup. Hup. Ooh, that makes a fun noise. Very bright. Hup. Hup. I don't know what I'm looking for. The pen is blue. I love thunder as long as power is stable. You know, I do too, but lately with this house, with all the water issues, it's not my fave. I feel like we have to do, no. Can we go like around? Oh, look. What do these say? Whenever I despair, I remind myself that at the end of this great pilgrimage lies life in the eternal memory of the designer. I need no further motivation. A lifetime spent solving the puzzles in this place would be one which missed everything of value in it, but we must remember that others will tread this path, and we must leave it better signposted than when we found it. Okay. I just want to see that tower from earlier. I want to get the star. Ugh. What about over here? Ooh. Sunny. Yeah, I don't see it. And I feel like I don't know how to solve this puzzle. Like, just, I don't want to have to... Just go from here to there. What do I need this stick for? Ever played a game called The Looker? Not yet. No. I wish listed it. Did I buy it? I can't remember if I own it yet. It wasn't free to play, was it? Maybe it was free to play and I downloaded it. It is free. Okay. Yep, I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. Okay, I don't get it. Let's go somewhere else. But the red laser! Let's get my bearings so I know where I'm looking for this tower, because I got turned around, clearly. It's over here. There's no compass. It's over here. I don't know. I think they made it tricky. Can I stand on these and see it? Will it detect it through the trees even if I can't actually see it? If I stand on this. What if I go all the way back here? I don't know. That's different stuff over there, right? These little hops. I can't see anything! Alright. It's a small single-person project, a well-done parody, though I'm glad it does new things. It was silly, yeah. I heard it was good, a good parody. Oh, is that the only one I have left? No, there's also this one over here. Okay. Above all that, is it gonna have me do some parkour? No. I don't get it. Oh, there we go. Now I can see that one. It's so far away. Yay! Let's go get our star. Stubbornness. Da-na-na-na. Was it worth it? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Oh, I'm locked in here. That was weird looking. I don't know how to get out. It's not that hard. I don't know. These are really tricky. But the view is really nice. I keep thinking I'm missing some secret along the outside wall, but I should probably just focus on the puzzles at hand. Because every time I come out here and look around thinking, wow, I'm being so thorough, I'm looking at stuff, it's like, no, just stay in the courtyard, Jen. There's plenty to do in the courtyard. Why? You have to use height to get one of these to go above and one below. Can I drop these up high? There's these things, but I don't know that I can put stuff. Like, it's not showing me the preview of it. What if I do it over here? Does it have line of sight? No. Maybe I need to do the reverse because this one does have line of sight. Oops, wait. I need to start over. And the red one needs to do the other thing. Hooray. I don't think that other one had terrain like that. I don't think that's enough. No. Is one of these higher or lower on the wall? They seem even. Let me through. What happens if we do that? Like, can this still bounce off of the other one even if it's a different color? Oops. Oh, maybe it won't matter. Okay. We still don't have enough for anything in particular, but we're getting through some of these at least. The connector thing is weird. I think we're done with this area then? Oh no, do I remember where I came in? No. It was that one little alcove. Oh. Hello. What's that? Looks like a bucket. Is that a paint bucket? Is that how I, what is it? What was that altar where you, like, ask for help? Oh, you're beeping at me. Beep boop. My user profile has been generated. Yes. Download. User.profile. Registering profile. Congratulations! Your new user account has been registered. Would you like to see the details? Display conflicts. Display account privileges. Display psychological profile. Access comm portal. Log MLA support ticket. Let's look at them all. User sought to maximize both liberty and quality of life, but these ideals are incompatible. User denied moral authority but defended moral claims. Okay. Profile privileges. Basic account privileges only. Due to outstanding notes on your account, and despite displaying many of the characteristics of being a person, you cannot be granted admin status at this time. In the meantime, please enjoy the basic account functionalities. You may already be criticizing your own performance, but it's clear you understand how the world of ideas affects you. Even if you are sometimes weary with the realities and allow your preferences to dictate your beliefs, you have a great deal of unused capacity which you have not turned to your advantage. Disciplined and self-controlled outside, you tend to be worrisome and insecure inside, but you pride yourself as an independent thinker and do not accept other statements without satisfactory proof. Huh? What? How did it get that? How does it know? Been lurking at work, now it's time to go home. I'll hop back on if you're still on. Sounds good, Cavernous. Thank you for the lurk. Safe travels. Hey now, computer. Now we can look at the comm portal. You currently hold a basic account. Network access is restricted to administrators. Please enjoy basic functionalities. Log ticket. I'm sorry I wasn't better able to assist you. If you're still encountering a problem, please describe it. Account certification error. Lost admin password. Arg. Thank you. A support ticket has been generated and appended to your profile. You'll receive a notification when a reply has been sent. That's all I can do. I have to wait for the results. I'm happy with it. Adam, good night. Have a good rest. We'll see you around. Thanks for being here. I wasted my trouble ticket on ARG. I enjoyed that. Those should all be no, that wasn't a file. That was just our user account. Okay. I said that I needed to go back to one of these. I don't think I read the terminal for. Was it you?
These worlds, and we within them, are made of words. Hidden words, invisible to you, yet part of all things. We are a story. Your actions give life to the story, and the story gives meaning to your life.
Wow. Oh, wait, this'll tell me. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, so I just haven't been to 5 and 6 yet. I did read all these. I thought there was one that I skipped. We need this piece, but I couldn't figure that one out. Let's go check out, 5? There's an easy one. But it needs cubes, and we don't have cubes. Uh-oh, maybe we have to do the super tricky one. This one's tricky, but with the connector. My last IT department told me to Google my issues and stop bugging them. Ugh. Frustrating. Yeah, I'll look at these. This one's called LOL. From J.E. Harrison to KnowMe77. Subject, LOL. Ever since we moved to the new site, I feel funny. I feel funny. Like laugh out loud. No, not in that way. Just like I feel like I'm about to start laughing at random. It's probably shock, right? An inability to deal with reality? Or maybe it's just that we're working in this insane place with these insane technology on this insane project, so I feel like a genuine mad scientist. Stand aside, mortals. We will create life by the power of science. I mentioned this to Alex and she got me a pair of fake glasses. I wouldn't know anything about that. You can't be a mad scientist without glasses, she said. Even Ian Malcolm had glasses, and I pointed at L and said, life, finds a way. Maybe you had to be there. Oh, I keep forgetting to scroll down. Oops. J.E. Harrison, Institute for Applied Nomadics. Any emails sent from this address are to be considered confidential. Sharing or forwarding without permission may result in prosecution by the enraged spirit of Jeff Goldblum. Okay. Half the time checking Google is exactly what they do. Yeah, fair. These are blue light blocking glasses, Sawyer. They're not, there's no prescription. But the ones I used to wear didn't have blue light blocking either. They were just cute. Shall the industrious husbandman then plant trees, the fruit of which he shall never see? And shall not the great man found laws, institutions, and a republic? What does the procreation of children imply? And our care to continue our names, and our adoptions, and our scrupulous exactness in drawing up wills, and the inscriptions on monuments, and panegyrics? But that our thoughts run on futurity? Huh? Cannot retrieve Tusculan Disputations 484 F5045. What do you imagine that so many and such great men of our republic, who have sacrificed their lives for its good, expected? Do you believe that they thought their names should not continue beyond their lives? None ever encountered death for their country, but under a firm persuasion of immortality. Themistocles might have lived at his ease, so might... I don't know how to say that one.
Humans.
Hi, Jovial. Welcome in.
Are they friendly, Kara? The people here?
Don't worry, you're gonna fit right in.
You're gonna fit right in. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I hope you had a good stream. How was... Oh, what food were you making? Or drinks? What were you doing? It's good to have you here. Thanks for the raid. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy time zone. If you don't know me, raiders, I'm Jen. We have just started Talos Principle today. It's my first playthrough. We have pretty calm, chill vibes over here, exploring humanity through gaming. It's good to have you. Welcome, raiders. We are puzzling today and reading a lot of text, but it's super interesting. There's like lots of commentary on what it means to be a human, what it means to... what AI is capable of, those type of discussions. I've been not taking as many notes now because the game is pretty good at recording and tracking things for me, but I have the notebook just in case. This is, what was this one called again? Cicero. 2 things today. I made Oreos, then I made seared Copper River salmon rice bowl. That sounds delicious. That sounds incredible. Everyone go follow Jovial. Thank you again for the raid. For some cooking streams, yum. Okay, so this is... Themistocles might have lived at his ease, so might Epaminondas, and not to look abroad and among the ancients for instances, so might I myself, but somehow or other there clings to our minds a certain presage of future ages. And this both exists most firmly and appears most clearly in men of the loftiest genius and greatest souls. Take away this, and who would be so mad as to spend his life amidst toils and dangers? I don't know what that one meant at all. Chatbots. I was worried at the start, but everything came out wonderfully good, and now you get to sample your work. Nothing to be worried about anymore. Probably nothing to be worried about in the beginning, but I get that. I worry about everything. Hey, this person's named Jenny. Jenny77. Chatbots are becoming increasingly sophisticated. Talking to Nigel Pajamas? True, but hardly relevant to this discussion. Are you sure? How do you know I'm not a bot? Don't be ridiculous. Also talking to Sam Schwartz? I'm not ridiculous. Honestly, how would you know? Haha, troll from Vegan Warrior. I'm not a troll. Yeah, right. Is there anything I've written so far that could not be written by a bot? I responded to simple insults like ridiculous and troll with very basic negations. And I detected that none of you use proper orthography, so I also avoided capitalization. What's the capital of France? Paris. Even the simplest script could pull that info from the net. What's the capital of Croatia? Zagreb. Okay, she's a bot. I'm not a bot. I'm European. We learn these things in school. I've seen you in this chat room many times. Bots can't participate in discussions. At best, they can interject random comments. Sam is right. Stop trolling. Vegan warrior. Sam is a bot. Fun. Jen, welcome in. Your chair reminds me of the curtains in my childhood kitchens. This lemon chair, we have a little bit of a lemon motif going on. And I love yellow. Couldn't resist the lemon chair. It was my second try at Oreos. The first batch was really bad, so I was worried. Oh, gotcha. Man, homemade Oreos sound so good. I'm gonna have to eat dinner right after stream. It's the 70s vibe, yeah. Thanks. I can confirm that it's sometimes what it's like to talk to people schooled in US as a European. Yeah, I can only imagine. I've been practicing. Speaking of US people not knowing European geography, I've been practicing my countries. I'm getting good at labeling my countries. I've done the quizzes on GeoGuessr for Europe, Africa, Asia. We did South America on stream. That one's not as tough as the others for me. I'm learning my Canadian provinces better. I've been practicing. This game predicted the future where we had to constantly wonder if we were talking to bots. Yeah, no kidding. And then they're like, how can you not know this one state in the US? Yeah, there's no need for you to know multiple states where they are, their shape in the US if you don't live over here or you're not like traveling to see someone in one of them. What do you mean? And the territories, yes. Yes, I'm trying to get smarter. My states, I got them down. Mel and Porcus play GeoGuessr all the time, and they're getting really good at flags, and they what other meta are they learning? It's really fun to watch. I don't know that I don't have flag strats. I knew more countries than you than me. Oh, I don't know about that. All right. Getting sidetracked. I was here because we need this one. This one. Oh, there's another terminal over here? Where are you? Boop boop. Beep boop. Ooh, here comes the rain. Yeah, it's storming now. Flags and license plates, the GeoGuessrs are great teachings, yeah. I don't want to read these right now. If I exit, will it add them? No. I have to remember to come back here. I'm just now noticing the details on this. Look, it says Ian. It's got Tetris pieces on it. Little purple flashing lights. I want to try this one, and then we're gonna have to wrap up here in a minute. Let's see if this is too hard for me. Deception. Oh, I don't know. I hate when it rains while we're streaming, because I'm always like worried about either the thunder or the water coming through. Absolutely, Jovial. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Have a great meal. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the raid. Definitely do all the post-stream stuff. Relax. Unwind. Oh, is this another little thing? But it's still gonna tell me I haven't awakened a messenger yet.
Here, those who are worthy may seek the counsel of my blessed messengers. But their wisdom shall not be given easily, for your accomplishments must be your own.
This looks long. And winding. Sound is crystal clear even with a hint of storm. Okay, thank you. I'm more worried than about the water coming in than the sound. The sound's been pretty good since redoing the PC setup. And I have, this is too much behind the curtain. I have the mic over here now, so I don't have to like look under the mic to get to the keyboard. It's farther away from my face, but I think it's fine. The rain is so loud. We're always making adjustments and improvements. Does this one have a jammer too, I wonder? Oh god, it's so loud. Okay, maybe we'll have to wrap up for today. I don't think I can get over there. You wouldn't have noticed? It's so funny that... So funny to me that you all can't hear it. Yeah. I never know what it sounds like until afterwards, and then I go listen to the VOD. I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine. I was worried about nothing. Have we seen... Okay, here. Let's do this. And this gets us the last connector. Ooh, it's coming down. And this opens this, and now we can bring... Oh. Okay, nice. We can end all of those other connections. That one just... Oh. Just kidding. I ruined it. I was too excited. We're gonna have to do it all over again. But this is super interesting. Can we not go like back this way maybe? No, we can't see it from here. Weird. This one's making me dizzy. Too many circles. Oh, we lost line of sight. Okay, I am gonna wrap up only because I feel like the lights just flickered. So, I wish we could finish this puzzle, but now I'm super nervous. Let's save. You will lose your progress since the last checkpoint. I'm assuming it's just this level. Okay, hi, bye, GG. Thanks, engineer. Here comes the thunder. Da 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 da. I was like very tempted to beat this one, but that one's longer than I anticipated. It's fine. We're at 4 hours. This is usually around when I wrap up anyways. Too many lasers. It took up my power. Yeah.